Whole brand new file.
Just cause too, you can do anything just because.
This game was the last straw.
I see your point, but I still disagree.
Massive RPG zombie game.
Okay, I didn't know we had agreed to that.
From a consumer point of view,
Because it's never gonna change unless we take a stand.
supposed to be the parents' responsibility.
How is that fair?
We're not going to talk about
Well,
that.
beggars can't be choosers, but I wish I could be.
Link 584.
Voice Go.
It's a podcast.
Hey guys, this is Voice Go from To Monitor,
And I am Link 584.
and today we have a very special, I say it's special, but it's not really, topic,
Special to you.
special to me and to all the other girl gamers out there, because I want to talk about games with girl characters, girl playable girls, yeah.
Okay, well, since I can see there's a little bit of struggle here, we'll just dive right in. You want to talk about, for example, if you have the game Left 4 Dead, you have the main 3 characters plus 1 that are guys plus 1 that is female.
Yeah, right, okay.
So a 3-to-1 ratio of guy versus female.
How is that fair? How is that fair? Okay, I'm going to bring up 2 other examples, but I mean, I guess they kind of count as one. Borderlands and Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 has not come out yet, but I've seen previews and I'm wicked excited to play it. However, they have 3 guy characters and only 1 female character.
I thought they have 2.
What do you mean, what?
They have 2 female characters.
No, they don't. They have 1.
What do you mean they only have 1?
They only have 1 female character to play.
No, when they first started, there's 5 playable characters.
No, there's only 4.
There's 5 because remember when we went to GameStop, they came out with the exclusive.
That's
one.
with Borderlands 2, and that's only if you pre-order the game.
Yeah, but that's still 5. You were going to discount that. The point is, the females are outnumbered.
Point is, I'm talking about Borderlands 1 right now.
Okay, so Borderlands 1, you have, once again, just like Left 4 Dead, it's a 3-to-1 ratio. It's completely not, it's not right.
It isn't right, okay? We are a growing community, and hey, power to girl gamers, okay? You get it. It's awesome to play video games. And they have games like Lara Croft and, Tomb Raider, whatever those games are
Or
called.
even the Metroid series.
Metroid, okay, yeah, that's fine. But what about games where you can pick your player? Left 4 Dead was so much fun. There were a lot of girls playing that game, and I understand that, girl gamers are a smaller community than male gamers, but we're growing. We want to see more female characters. We want to see more selectable characters. Also, though, I just thought of another game. It's not Dead Rising. What was that new one? Dead Island. That's it. They do have 2 female playable characters, okay? So you're getting it. You're getting 50-50. That's smart. That works for me. Having,
More balance.
yeah, more balance. I mean, I'm not asking for an entire game to be filled with girl choices. I'm just saying that why can't we have more than 1 female character in a game? And it just seems like game companies aren't really getting this, that there are a lot more girl gamers out there. I want to see more girl representation.
And when you have a game like Left 4 Dead or Borderlands, where they encourage playing together and all that stuff, who cares if there's a duplicate of a character? In my opinion, if you have what there should be, is they encourage up to 4 players to go at once. Who cares if there's 4 Liliths running around, in my opinion? I think you shouldn't be forced into a gender role you don't want when they give you the option of gender. When they present that field to you, they should, who cares about the duplicates? Kind of like in classic Nintendo games and stuff. I remember playing Super Smash Brothers. You could have 4 Links on the field with just different colors. Because you're not caring about story or anything like that. So, and it's not like there's cutscenes either. So why not do that rather than force everyone to take a role? Okay, the 2 females and the 2 males, and if you're a group of 4 females, same thing if you're a group of males. Why can't we have the duplicate?
Well, I'm not saying that you can't have a duplicate, but what I'm saying is there should be more female options.
Yeah, there should be more female options, and then on top of that is what I'm suggesting.
And if you, Okay, take Left 4 Dead. All right, for example, I played that game so much, so much. Okay, but it wouldn't be. Oh, and Left 4 Dead 2, I forgot they only have one girl in that one. What the fuck? Anyways, okay, why can't they make, you can only have 4 characters on your team at a time, and you can't have any duplicates in that game. So why not make 4 guys and 4 females, and then you can pick who you want to play, and if your player's taken, well, shit, too bad. But if you want to be a girl and you have an all-girl team, you can be 4 girls running around. I mean, I know it really doesn't make a difference in a game like Left 4 Dead, but in some games, it's gonna make a difference. It's like, oh, who's gonna get stuck as Zoe this time? Well, if you have a girl character, well, then obviously she will. But nobody should have to be stuck in a gender role they don't want. If, for example, you're playing a game such as, I don't know, give me a game.
Aside from Left 4 Dead?
With a male character.
What do you mean, where you're forced into it?
No, just where it's just the main character is just a man.
Like Resident Evil 4?
Resident Evil 4, okay, Leon Kennedy, yeah, that's fine. Because there's a story behind it, so you're playing as a man character, so, it's no big deal. But if they're going to give you a choice of who you can play, they better as well give you a girl character. I mean, we're growing. Why can't we have that representation?
The ones where story doesn't matter. They should, when they give you options, why not all the options, is what it is. Because when you have a story like Resident Evil and you're playing as like Leon throughout the whole thing, it makes sense. But when you're playing something like Left 4 Dead, yeah, there's a story out there, but it's not really. You're playing to go through and get the points and make it through the level, and you're not there. There is no real story.
Well, Borderlands, there's a little bit of a story.
Borderlands, there's like a vague story, but I mean, why not have it? I mean, one of the things that there is in Dead Island, for example, you have the 2 male and 2 female. Why can't you just pick which one that you want to be, and then pick your class after? Why do they have to be tied together? That's another thing I don't get. Like, what's the point? It's they touch on their backstories, but that doesn't automatically say why this guy's good with knives, or this guy's good. There's no information about it. So why can't we pick our character and then class just like we do in Oblivion? I mean, it makes sense. I mean, because the stories you can even have story there, but picking class. I mean, why does it? It's tied to the gender in that one.
That I don't really mind. I do see what you're saying, and that would be pretty cool, but I honestly don't mind.
Well, it just seems weird that you would debate the other stuff, but not this one. Like, this is the one that you're okay with. Because then you're forced into a gender role, which is the thing you're going against.
No, I'm not saying I'm forced into a gender role. I'm just saying I want to see more options available for the girl gamer.
Yeah, but the same thing applies here.
Okay. Well, they pick a class for a girl. A man obviously can't be a siren. I mean, come on.
Well, I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about like Dead Island, which is a real life scenario. Why, like, if let's say I want to play with shotguns, or I want to play with sniper rifle. Whatever it is, whoever it is, it's tied to that character. I don't get why. That's what I don't. It feels weird because there's a certain play style I play as. You're not going to change that based upon presenting me with, okay, the girl is the one that has the stats and stuff that I like, as I've always traditionally played. Well, I'm not forced to pick her. Why would I make myself not have as fun of an experience when I could just, when I could pick her, but I don't want to sound like a woman throughout the whole thing. I want to have my man character. Even if I don't like the other 2 men, I'd rather still have my thing, make the grunts that I would make, if I got hit and took damage, things like that. You kind of see what I mean?
Well, I do, but that doesn't bother me as much as not having, as many girl representatives out there.
But I mean, it goes hand in hand with your thing, though. It's a branch of it.
It is kind of, but I just want to, say, hey, girl power today.
Well,
maybe that's a whole other topic.
Well, I mean, it is girl power. I mean, you're playing through, you say, okay, this is how I play through. But if you put yourself in the exact same shoes as me, and you say, oh, well, the guy character is the one that has my play style. Well, I'm forced into the guy character yet again. You see what I mean? It's there's no.
I do get what you're saying.
And because at least with Borderlands isn't as much of an issue as it is in Dead Island, because let's say, okay, well, you have a skill tree, at least in Borderlands, so at least you get something like how you would want it. Because, once again, your class is tied to the character. I mean, like you say, well, the guy's not going to pick a siren. Well, what if a guy does want a siren? Because that's just assuming.
No,
What
no,
if
no,
I
no,
want
no, no. I didn't ever said a guy wouldn't pick a siren. I just mean, like a guy character, like can't be a siren, because like the whole point of a siren is they attract men. They're sexy and attract the male eye. So a man can't be a siren. He has to be.
I know. So now it's getting into murky territory, because like it's like well that's not fair. Well, what's something that the guy roles have that a woman can't be?
A playa.
See, yeah, why can't we have a player? Or why can't you have in these situations? Why can't you have 4 guy characters and 4 girl characters, and they'll fit the role no matter what. Let's say just like how Mass Effect has an official storyline that the developers say this is the real story, this is what's canon. If we had books or anything like it to go with it, why can't it be like if you're playing in the Borderlands universe or a game like that, where you just like Left 4 Dead, you have 4 males and 4 females, and you say these are the canon characters and these are the ones that don't count, but we put them in there so you could have your choice of male or female. You see?
Yeah.
And then in Borderlands, put your class with it. Like if you had a male siren, it's contradictory to itself, but you could play through with that skill set, but it wouldn't be canon. I mean, there's a solution right there. How hard is it to come up with 4 more character models that are similar? All you have to do is take and look and say, okay, well, this is the sniper. What's the female version of the sniper going to look like? What's the female version of the big berserker going to look like? And play off of each other.
That's actually kind of scary.
That is scary, but that's the perfect solution, in my opinion. Because for story-wise purposes, say these are the ones that are canon and these are the ones that are thrown out. I mean, in fact, they actually had this isn't story-wise, but I mean, they had like a Mario Golf back on the Nintendo 64. And guess what the character selections were like?
What?
You had Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach. You had a nice roster of Mario characters, and then there was something like Ben and Julie. They were 2 normal humans. But I mean, they don't fit into the world at all, but they put them in so you could have options. That's what I'm talking about. They're not canon to the Mario universe, but they put them in there. I mean, I know it's a golfing game, but that's the same point that I'm trying to make. So I think that's an easy solution to your girl gamer problem. And also if you had a full group of 4 guys. I mean, you can't get much more better solution than that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Canon and non-canon. It's just like the Mass Effect world. We have all these options, but there's only one real canon outcome, but we're still allowed these other options. You're thinking about it.
I am thinking about it.
I mean, I think that makes perfect sense. I mean, if we can get away with it in the Mass Effect world for 3 games in a row, I think that we could come up with something where we could have generic characters for games without story. You can't get much better than that, can you? You're agreeing, aren't you? For the most part, at least.
I just want girl power. Girl gamer power.
But you agree, don't you? That is a good solution.
It would be, yes.
It's better than no solution.
It is, yes. But, I mean, honestly, I want to see more girl gamers out there.
Well, they're there.
I mean, every time I get on my Xbox and play a game, oh my god, it's a girl! Yeah, I am. In fact, I'm a woman.
Well,
I go to work, and I come home, and I like to relax, and I like to play games. Get over it.
Well, I think when it comes to those hardcore games, it's just going to take time.
Well, but there are girl gamers out there, and I think we need representation. And that's all I have to say.
You need fair representation.
Yeah.
Because you do have representation, but just not enough. And they're getting the reaction, oh my god, it's a girl game. I think that's always going to be around, even like 40 years from now, because there's always going to be more male gamers, in my opinion. But if the female ones aren't treated with a certain amount of respect and having those clear choices, it just doesn't seem right. Like you said, the 3-to-1 ratio when it comes to most games, when you're picking your characters like that, But at least when you look at something like Resident Evil 5, they evened it out. One male, one female. I mean, that's 50-50. You're splitting it right there.
That's very true. Although, I was thinking of this point and now it's almost completely escaped me.
We'll roll with what you got.
Okay, yeah, all right. This is what I wanted to say. There are games that are, geared towards women, children, men, adults, kids.
Everything,
okay? I mean, for Christ's sake, there's Cooking Mama. I mean, if that... Barbie, these are really girly games. But what about the girls who like to play it, a little hardcore? I can't remember the last time I saw a Call of Duty game with a chick. I mean, women go to war. Women deal with tough stuff all the time. And there's not that. Let's see. Oblivion, you can play a girl character, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And you can choose your race, and you can choose everything in that game. Your gender, your race, and your class.
Mass Effect, that's very true. Actually, a little known fact, apparently, it was supposed to be a girl, and then ended up being a guy, which, I really don't mind, but I always play as a guy in that one. Only just because that's kind of what they chose, that's what what the title came out with. I don't like the female shepherd very much. So, there's that. But let's see. Let's think of a game.
See, that makes me get a little bit of clarity. Like, there's respect of developers' choice, and then there's just plain old respect for us as the gamers. Like, there's respect of the developer's choice when you hear about what a canon outline is, or you're presented with certain characters that come into play. But when it comes to a game like Left 4 Dead or Borderlands, where story is very minimal, then it's not so much about respect of developer's choice as having a fun experience doing the gameplay elements. You're focused on, it's just a pick up when it's a pick up and play type game, they should give you those more options. When it's more of a story driven type thing, you go with the respect of what it is. It's kind of like when you're watching a movie. The ones that you respect the creator's choice for these main characters, who got the move, play the parts, and all that stuff. It's just like in a game. But when it's something that's silly fun, and you pick up and play every night, random willy-nilly, and you're not so focused on the story, and you're just racking up score, that's where the options come in. So there's respect of developer's choice, and then respect of us, our choice, depending on what kind of game it is.
Exactly. I agree. I think games like Borderlands and Left 4 Dead and Dead Rising, well, I'm not Dead Rising.
Dead Island.
Yeah, Dead Island, thank you. There's too many deads. There should be more of a female aspect to it. Yeah, exactly. Presence, that is a good word. Thank you, Link. I appreciate that.
There's a lack of female presence when it comes to these more just fun, silly games.
Yeah. But, I mean, I want hardcore games, too. I mean, you're saying go out and buy Tomb Raider. Well, yeah, sure, but that's not
We're talking
the
multiplayer.
kind of game for me. I know we're talking, multiplayer, but, I'm just...
But you mean in general, too. There's not even enough standalone titles with women.
Yeah,
I mean,
not many.
They're good, but sometimes, but when it's a limited range, and maybe not all of them are for you.
I can't even think of a game off the top of my head where it has a female lead that was written that way, other than Tomb Raider.
What do you mean? Other than, like, Metroid as well?
Metroid, well, yeah, but I mean, you barely know she's a female until, later on. I mean, we know now, but, I mean...
You know what has a strong female presence?
What?
Final Fantasy X.
Well, yeah, but she wasn't the main character.
The main character was Tidus, right?
Which was a girly boy.
But if you really look at that game, like, if you split it, let's say Tidus had... If you split it, really, between all the characters, Tidus, I think, only had, 40% of the airtime. Sure, you walked around the map as him, but your battles, you could choose who was in your party. The cutscenes engaged all of the characters. You very rarely got Tidus by himself.
Final Fantasy 13 had a female.
Yeah, exactly. So you look at these two games. Final Fantasy 13 had more of a female role because that was, the main character. And then Final Fantasy X, like I said, Tidus, even though he's the main character, he's not at the same time. Yuna is a pretty strong main character right up there. If you split the airtime, you could honestly say probably okay, Tidus got 35%. And then Yuna probably got 30%, and then Oren probably got like 25%,
Lulu.
and then the rest got like the remainder split between them. Like Yuna was right up there with Titus. I mean, really was. So even though Titus had a little bit more, it really didn't matter, because you could have your party filled with women outside of Titus, and all stuff. It's just the way it was. You didn't even actually have to use Titus, I believe, in battle. So
Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna list off some games that I can think of just off the top of my head. The Darkness, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5. I mean, that's split 50-50. Goodness, let's see. Any of the Call of Duty games. Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, and 4. So the only 2 I've played, so really, I mean, help me come up with some more games.
Well, I don't know what you're listing.
Just a bunch of games.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Okay, yeah, keep going.
Any of the Sonic games? Zelda?
Yeah, Zelda's good.
Gears of War? God of War?
Fear, Dead Space. I don't know if I said...
Dead Rising?
Dead Rising, yeah.
Because you've been craving to say that one a lot.
Yeah, apparently. Okay, but, I mean, all of those games, with the exception of Resident Evil 5, those were all strong male leads.
Right.
Right.
Well, Banjo-Kazooie.
Well, okay, but that was an older game. That's...
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that...
Where's the female link?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they all show, females, and, I mean, I get it. You were talking about the respect of the game person. That's what they chose to have. But, I mean, really, where do the girls come into play?
I mean, you have Tomb Raider, and she has a big history, right? So while it may not be for you, she's been around for a long time. But then you look at something like Metroid.
Okay, wait,
her face is never her face is shown at the end of the thing, but the point is, in Metroid, you're playing as like a suit of armor, really.
Okay,
you don't get connection.
Let me get back to Tomb Raider.
Right.
Okay, Tomb Raider. Those movies were not made for a female audience. Okay? Even the movies were not made for a female audience. It was made to be sexy, for men to be enticed into watching and playing these games because the character is sexy. And hey, there's nothing wrong with a good female sexy character with enormous breasts and a voluptuous ass, okay? But...
Lollipop Chainsaw.
Okay, yeah, that one, Lollipop Chainsaw, we just saw previews for that one. Even that one's made to look sexy, even though I kind of really want to play it because it kind of looks fun. But all the female characters...
A lot of guys want to play it.
All the female characters that they make in games today are geared towards male gamers.
It's sex appeal, or it's just...
It's so really there is no female games. There's
a disconnect.
And I'm not looking for female games like Barbie and Cooking Mama. I'm gonna fucking fuck you up, bitch, and I want to do it because I'm a girl and I am powerful. Hear me roar, roar, roar.
Yeah, and you want to respect the character too, though.
Yeah.
Like you want to respect.
I don't want a girl with huge tits and her ass hanging out of her shorts.
You want like some.
I want a girl who can kick ass.
Like Lara Croft, like she's in the middle. Honestly, she's not. I don't think geared towards the male audience. I think she is a good example of a good female character. But when you can only think of really like one or two off the top of your head, that's not a good sign. When I can name like 50 male ones. Yeah,
go ahead. Name some more male ones.
I mean, Laura, I was gonna say they just keep going on and on. I mean, where are the female equivalences? Where's the female link that's a silent hero that you attach yourself with outside of Samus? Because, I said, it's like a suit of armor.
Okay, here's one. These were two of my favorite games, and I don't know if it's because they're female related.
Oh, I just thought of them. Yeah.
Yeah, Kaeya, Dark Lineage, which was awesome. She was totally Bamf.
Where's our modern Kaeya?
Yeah. Where is that? And Beyond Good and Evil, she was a kick-ass reporter and exposed people for the truth. And guess what? Neither one of them had huge tits. They weren't dressed provocatively. They weren't interested in anything that had to do with sex. They were interested in saving, doing their mission.
And you had a lot of fun doing it.
Damn right I did.
Like, you don't even notice you're playing as a female. Like, you do, but I mean, like, it's not
But I
something
mean,
that
those were
bothers
kind of
you.
based around stories. But they could have done it like like a young male character easily for both of them. But they didn't. They made it a girl.
Yeah, like,
So there's a little bit of girl love, and I don't know. I
But
don't think
that's
those
older.
games were really popular back then.
Kaya wasn't, but Beyond Good and Evil has been known in the communities as
A really good
as,
game.
Yeah, as the game that most people missed. And like they not missed in terms of I missed that game. Like a lot of people
It was
missed it, but
kind of like a secret
it's-
hidden jewel
it,
thing.
it was kind of like when Alan Wake came out. It came out the same week as a AAA game, so it got buried. So while I was playing Alan Wake and having a great time, it was the day like Red Dead Redemption came out, and that was like the Wild West version of GTA 4.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so Alan Wake got buried, but everyone's like, oh my god, how do people not know about this game? It's so great, and they were able to remedy that situation pretty quick. Ironic considering the company that made it is Remedy. But but for this game, Beyond Good and Evil, it took years, and they're like, hey, we got this as a downloadable title now or something on like the Xbox or the PlayStation Network or whatever it is, or so people were interested in it again, and then it got the buzz it deserved, and then a lot of people went out and bought the old game that they missed, but it's still an old game. Where's our new Beyond Good and Evil 2, or where's our new games with these types of heroines?
Exactly. I mean, I just want some love.
I heard that the 3DS version of Assassin's Creed though is going to have a female lead.
Sweet.
So that's
But the DS, I mean, come on.
I mean, it's not even a console thing, but I mean, the point is, it's a step in the right direction.
It is. It is a step. You're right. And I guess beggars can't be choosers. I want awesome games, and I want girls for it too. I mean, granted, there are some games where a female character just wouldn't work. But if you can give us the love, why not?
Yeah, yeah. There needs to be more. We're slowly heading there, but not in as fast as the direction. That it makes you even wonder if we are heading there. We are. We aren't. It's limited. Like if it's Final Fantasy, we know that they're always going to be there and they'll have strong leads. But that's one series, and if it's something like Lara Croft, same deal. Metroid, like I said, you have a disconnect because you never really get to see her face and her personalities. So where are new, originally created ones that could become series as well? That would be integrated in our hearts, like we can name off Mario, Donkey Kong, Star Fox,
Speaking
Link.
of Mario,
You name of all these people.
they're all male. But speaking of
They have history, is what I mean.
speaking of Mario, there are like 100 Mario games. Is there any one where you actually play Peach?
Mario 2. You can choose your character. You can play as Mario, Toad, Luigi, or Peach, and they each have their own special ability.
Oh.
Peach can actually when
But
she
a game dedicated with Peach? I mean, she's a big character in the Mario universe.
I'm pretty sure that
They have a game based around Yoshi's, based around Luigi. Where is Peach's game?
I'm pretty sure they have one, and I even have a promotional button for it that I bought.
Oh.
Yep, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
And I could find out.
haven't seen it, but I mean, really.
I mean, it's out there. It's kind of like there's a game just for Tingle from Zelda.
Seriously?
Yeah, so you wouldn't even know about it. So there is a Peach
Oh.
one, and I can find out on these forums. that I
Okay,
go
well, I
online.
rest my case.
I mean, there's this one girl. All she does is collect Peach items.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, so I mean, there is a love for the female characters, even when they're minor. Imagine if we had major characters.
Although, yeah, I imagine a game with Peach just being the main character would be pretty boring. She'd be walking down the street and get nabbed.
Well, pretty much.
Well, this is a boring game.
Well, here's two things. Is Peach, we've already seen some of her in action in Paper Mario, and she bakes.
Okay, yeah,
So-
but totally
so-
sexual stereotype.
I mean,
Get in the kitchen, Peach.
So any of her respect just went right out the window. So while she
Yeah.
makes an appearance in like Brawl and stuff like that, it's not the same.
And where's Zelda's game? I mean, it's called The Legend of Zelda, but she ain't the main character. You don't get to play as her.
But you've seen that she has a strong will and a power.
Well,
I mean, she plays
but
a very strong female, but she doesn't play a very strong female role.
exactly.
But at least she's strong, and they need more women like that. I mean, Zelda did have her own game. on the CDI. But we won't get into that.
You're laughing like I'm supposed to know what you're laughing at.
Oh, well, you don't want to know what I'm laughing at. So those of you who do know, Zelda has her own game, and it's on the CDI.
Was it not good?
We're not going to talk about that tonight, sweetie.
Horrendous.
We're not going to talk about the
Okay.
CDI.
All right.
We're not going to talk about the CDI.
Okay.
It was bad.
Okay. I like girls. That sounded kind of wrong, but you know what? Whatever. I said what I said.
So I don't think there's too much more we could say about this. We could probably come up with more examples and more directions we want to head, but for now, I think we really covered our point.
Voice goes tired.
Me too. That was a long-winded discussion. We just hit 30 minutes.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. And if you were a girl gamer, please, please, please give us some love under this video. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely leave us some comments, maybe some video responses, and see how you feel.
Also,
like,
sorry.
I just want to say, like, we don't play every single game that's out there in existence. So if we missed some other good female lead examples, please let us know. We're not experts in this.
No,
we're just regular gamers.
We are. We're just a regular couple of gamers. We love to have fun and we love to talk about it. That's all.
So what were you gonna say?
Okay. Any female gamers or any male gamers out there who have, any comments or suggestions of games that we should play with a strong female lead or, just anything. Just leave your comments and, tell us about some games that you love. Some of your favorite games. We'd love to play them.
Yeah, it seems weird not thinking about game-wise because there's a lot of TV shows now that have strong female leads.
Yeah,
And
but
the games aren't getting them.
Yeah.
Like, we have all these different things. Like, you take, like, Avatar Last Airbender or The Legend of Korra, or you take something like Bones. You have Dr. Brennan. You take all these different shows. I can't think of too many off the top of my head right now, really. But I know that
I can
they're
think
there.
of some, but I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I watch them, so I won't.
But you could say them if you want.
No, I'm embarrassed.
Well, the point is that they're there.
Yeah,
in the TV industry.
There are a lot of shows that where girls kick ass, and
It just seems weird that one media has it and the other doesn't.
we need more games to kick ass. I mean,
I play more games than I watch TV.
yeah.
And a lot of gamers are like that. So it's kind of weird that the media is just kind of...
Yeah, because it is more fun to make your story happen rather than just sit and watch it happen.
Exactly. Anyway, that's all I got for this. So
That's all I got too.
So I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm Link584.
And I'm VoiceGo, and thank you for listening.